Alright, it's the Golden Key, and this is gonna be my first video, the ENTP social experiments. You know, I had a little brain fart and just totally left my head and just slid on out my ear, didn't it? Anyways, I want to give you a little backstory before I go into this. I started going down the MBTI route around 2.5, 3 years ago. I was casually strolling through work and a coworker was like, "Hey, I know you're always trying to figure out zodiacs and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Yeah, more so for research purposes. I'm really, doing social experiments on everybody without them knowing." But yeah, I said that. Anyways, she was like, "I think you really would like the personality test, the MBTI." I was like, "What is that?" And she told me about it, and I was like, I can't picture anything tying down me as a person to what I am and am not, like, scientifically. I feel like I'm so different. Nothing can put me inside of a box. I know what you're saying. I was just doing this stuff on zodiacs, but Gemini kind of goes a lot with ENTP. I'll get to that on another video. But a month or two later, another friend of mine was like, "Hey, I got INFJ on this personality type. You should go take it." I was like, "All right, cool." It was a girlfriend at the moment, so I was really interested in seeing, how our personalities meshed. Took the test, got ENTP. If you don't know what that means introverted. God damn it. Ain't no introverted in ENTP. Ain't a bit. A little bit. Just a little bit, but not that much of a bit. Anyways, extroverted, intuitive, thinking, perceiver. Okay, so look more into it. Turns out me and INFJs are supposed to go together. Have a troubled past with INFJs. Apparently ENTPs aren't the most sensitive of the types. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get on with the story. So once I found out what I was and I read it, I'm like, that does sound like me. I started deep diving. I tend to do that sometimes. I really get into stuff I'm into. I've been known to be a conspiracy theorist. I've been known to really, I get into things. I have a lot of different interests in, it's, the older I get, the harder it gets to find people with mutual interests that want to always have the same conversations, because I don't want to just talk about one particular thing. I want the conversation to flow and be alive and to grow from different thoughts and aspects. But anyway, that's just a brief little history about me going down the rabbit hole of the MBTI. Brief, very brief. We'll go into that later, but we're going to talk about these social experiments. I would like to start off with why I do social experiments. Me particularly, I do social experiments. I feel like they're the best way, outside of debating, to actually learn knowledge and keep it. What I mean by that is, when you debate somebody, you really get to see if they know what they're talking about, and it really gets burnt in your head. Especially if you lose. It's very hard for me to lose, let me tell you, but I do lose. And when you lose, you learn. you know that lesson from now on. You hold that L. Yeah, you gonna remember that. So, social experiments. How I set them up. Why I set them up. So I spoke to an ENFP a couple minutes ago, and I asked my auntie. She's an ENFP. I asked her, I was like, "Hey, do you do social experiments?" And she told me. She said that social experiments, what are those? And I thought that just off me saying social experiments, everybody would know what I was saying. But that's basically where I learn something and I test it out on human beings. Like literally socially experimenting. So I asked her, did she ever test out different theories or different things on anybody? And right now she's not on that in her point of her life. She's more focused on business. So I had to really understand that this might just be an ENTP thing, or it might be a me thing. It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. I'm gonna do the research. Got to do the Carfax on that. I'm not really 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I can't be the only one. Ain't the only one trying to be the only one. But if I am the only one, that's a good thing because I'm not trying to be like all the rest of you anyway. Anyways. So, how do I set up these social experiments? Basically, some people say knowledge is is what you know without having to learn it on your own. I think I much more prefer wisdom combined with knowledge, if that makes any sense. So if I learn something, I want to see it in action. But I don't necessarily believe that me just witnessing other people make a mistake or succeed in a certain aspect means that it's right. I have to take whatever I learn and set it up just right to see if this works. It's literally experiment on everything I learned, and sometimes those experiments can go well. Sometimes I do the opposite of what I know to see if it works the opposite. I like to see what all options I have, how far I have to play with in the middle and the far end of the spectrum, both far ends, like, this side, that side, middle. I like to know the options. I like to combine different theories and see how well it works, see what doesn't work, see how many paths I have to go in this. I've been doing social experiments for a long time. I would like to say I have to do things like this. I don't think that when it comes to the common sense factor, I don't think I have the highest score on the scale. So I overcomplicate everything. I more than make up for this once I find out how to do something or what something is. Like when I tell you once I get something, I go over and beyond. It's definitely true. So one social experiment, let's say, I'll just give you an example, is I was at a party or a kickback, whatever you want to call it, and I noticed that people were playing their favorite music themselves. The party was relatively dead. Everybody was just on to their own self. There was no energy in it. So the first thing I did was I changed the station to a Pandora station for clubs or parties. It literally was that, a party station. Next thing you know, energy's raising. Then I hyped up the energy myself. I brought the energy. And I noticed when you can kind of infect people with your energy. I don't really much so like doing this all the time because sometimes it comes out as me being a clown or a joke and stuff like that, because sometimes in order to get people talking, you have to interject some comedy or something like that. You can't always be the person in the background. And for the most part, if it's going bad, I don't mind taking a hit for everybody because I want people to have a good time. You know what I mean? And plus, I feel like there's nothing that can stop me from success. Like, I don't care what you think of me. I am me. Yeah, have confidence in yourself now. You gotta believe in yourself. So yeah, that was one example of social experiments. The music and the scene goes a long way with a lot of things. Another example was me and my brother, my counterpart. We learned at a very young age is certain music can really set the scene. Like, I feel like R&B is a little too suggestive. Back in the day before Drake, when Drake came out with what was it? The Take Care. Was it Take Care? It wasn't. It was the one The Weeknd basically wrote. I can't think of it right now. I'll think of it later on. But before that, back in our day, we had I'm Serious. So we had old T.I. I know you can hear the Georgian accent. So what we learned was when you have something like that playing in the background, you don't have to have it playing the loudest. You just have it in medium tone. Certain lyrics and things suggest things in people's heads. Subconscious, otherwise, it actually is a real thing. Like, you can have thoughts implanted into your mind without even knowing it. You have to be aware of yourself. So playing a certain music where you don't let on what your intentions are, but it's basically like, this is my favorite artist, but really he's leading towards a certain direction. You know what I mean? It really it goes a long way. It's a bunch of things that really add up to you know, getting where you want in life. Just when you're hanging out with coworkers, you don't want to play just like the trappest music ever. You want to play something kind of mutual. Like I said, Drake. Everyone's okay with Drake. You can play that anytime, especially the older Drake before he started trying to get too cocky. No one got nervous with Drake music playing. I mean, nowadays people might get a little nervous, but I don't know why. It's Drake. But it's all about knowing where you are and who you are around. So I've definitely, like I said, I like the social experiment. So I'll play music that'll make somebody uncomfortable. I'll play music I know people don't like. I'll play music I know people do like. Then I'll play music people aren't really paying attention to. I'll play with the volume scales. It's all kind of things that are done to see what the results will be, to maximize output, to maximize like the highest efficiency rating. And once I know this, I log it. I don't really use it. I log it. I might try it every now and then to see if it was a fluke or not, but it's more so just for knowledge base. A lot of people have go-to moves that they always do with ladies or people where they introduce themselves in a certain way. I don't have go-to moves because I like to have different options. I like to go down different routes. I like to leave it open as possible. Like I don't necessarily want to have the small talk conversation, but I'm willing to have it. I've had it to where I open the thing up and get the other people mainly talking. I've had it to where I mainly talk. It's all about seeing what works best for you. I don't know if I'm the only one that experiments with everything, like literally everything. Sometimes I experiment with how I wake up. If I wake up earlier, drink some tea, have time, set my day off right, I'm in a way better mood. I'm in control of the day. I can interact with people better. Or if I wake up late, I'm on my heels all day, like, the world's coming at me. I'm just trying to move with it, But I feel like social experiments are the best way to gain knowledge. Like I said, with really trying things, I experiment with how I say things, the tone. I'll slow it down. I'll speed it up real quick. I'll soften the pitch to make people more comfortable. It's whatever works at the moment. And I feel like all ENTPs do this because from what I hear, ENTPs have a variety of masks, which to me is strange because let me tell you, INFJ, like you can know them and not know them. Everybody just talks like their roses don't smell like boo boo, okay? But I know some stuff about INFJ, all right? Because most of my friends are that. For some reason, we really do click up. But yeah, everything really is situational. When you really understand things and have practiced and you gain that knowledge, I feel like it brings a different level of confidence and durability. You'll be able to, especially for ENTP, when you get things that are like for me, like I said, common sense factor, I feel like maybe it's not the best. I'm not gonna say because my common sense is bad. It's because I don't pay attention more so. When I do pay attention to everything that's going on around me, I feel like I'm one of the better people at it. I can see everything. It's like it's almost like it's a gift. It's like I can see past everything that's going on into the future almost. And it's just, I feel like since naturally I'm good at that, it's boring to me. I like to be good at things I'm not naturally good at. And if anybody else can relate, hit me up in the comments and let me know. I'm down for the conversation. I love deep topics and deep dives, and we can have a social experiment in the comments. I'm down for ENTPs. And let me tell you about ENTPs. This may just be an observation of mine. I don't know if anybody else has met other ENTPs. Like I said, they say certain types are the rarest, but it's rare that I run into other ENTPs. It's really weird. it's not often. I've been trying, like, friends, enemies, people I don't even know that well. I've had all of them take the test. I've had several. I've had like 1,000 people take the test, and I ran into like 3 ENTPs. Like, it's strange, and I know I'm like an INFJ magnet. Like, they're all the way around my life. Like, it's like I got a shield of INFJs around me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in all shapes and sizes, we rock together. They're annoying sometimes on some things, but we really do rock. But yeah, any ENTPs, y'all ever notice that when we get together, it's almost like a mental competition? Like, it's some kind of game that develops of wits. It's almost like we're trying to compete to see who's more intelligent or who can defeat the other's brain or something like that. It's real weird, peculiar. INTJs, we can have real deep conversations. I'm sorry, I'm letting you in on a little bit of the social experiment I've done with the MBTI. I didn't set it up to let you know that that's what was going on, but yeah. ENFJs, I'm pretty cool with all ENFJs. ENFJs are like cool ass INFJs. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. It's like they can be friends with anybody. Everybody loves them. It's they're really cool to be around. They're really good people. Like, I don't know if they're good people, because, you know what I'm saying, your personality type don't establish how good of a person you are, but they're fun people. They're really good at making friends and connections with people. Me, on the other hand, I find that I can make I find I'm cool with everybody pretty much for the most part, but I only have a certain, like, very few friends, very, very few. Most of them are INFJs, like I said before. Yeah, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you think. Golden key.